Hello, Shadowcat back with the Rimworld Space Program. And before we get started today, we're going to be making a change. And I'm going to go into exactly why we're making that change. And we'll talk about this while they have their little binge party, since they're probably going to need it. So, when I'm not playing games like this, I am making games. I am a game designer. And anybody who has been on my channel long enough probably knows that I do a Sunday stream every week where I literally build tabletop games. Now, I build other things too in my free time. I like building things. However, the point is that I know how to build games. I know how to run games. I know what's good, and I know what's bad. And right now, things in this game are bad. Now, let me elaborate on that one. A couple episodes ago, we had a mech cluster drop. Now, that on its own is not a bad thing. Mech clusters happen. It's down here, what's left of it anyway. Now, that mech cluster came with a psychic droner that we struggled with because we didn't have the technology or the tools to go in and defeat it. So we had to endure that. Now, that was a problem because it also forced everybody in the colony into psychotic breaks, and we had to use Psych-IT and all kinds of stuff like that. Okay? It was bad. However, it was survivable. Now, the next episode after that is when we actually had the EMP grenades and the armor, and we went through and we defeated that cluster. Okay? Yay! Good for us. We did a good thing. And what immediately followed after that? Well, immediately after that, we got hit with the plague. Now, that is awful, and that's terrible timing. However, getting hit with the plague is one of those things that happens. Eventually, you're going to get sick. It happens. However, getting hit with the plague twice in a row, that is not usual. That really shouldn't happen. But it did. And we dealt with it. Thankfully, we got our doctors back and we had antibiotics and we made that work. It took us nearly all the medication that we had, and having the animals get sick with the flu, wasting more of our medication, didn't help. And then, as soon as we got done with that, we thought that maybe we could refill our stockpile of herbal medicine, maybe we could get some of the stuff off the map, when the game dropped another mech cluster on us that we now have to go out and deal with. This is a problem. It's a problem because we are not getting a chance to actually do anything. All we are doing so far is running from crisis to crisis to crisis. This is not a story. This is a dungeon crawl. Okay? This is not, let's see what happens next and how we handle situations. This is just boss room after boss room after boss room until eventually we run out of hit points and die. And to that point, this is the third time that I have tried to record this episode. And I say that because I need to make something very, very clear. I am not an idiot. Okay? I'm not stupid. I know what the game is. I know what the game is trying to do. And it's failing at it. See, the last time that I tried to record this, actually no, not the last time, the first time, we went through and we actually did defeat this cluster. I have a plan. And I have two supporting pieces of evidence now that plan works. We defeated that cluster. We came back, we were able to unrestrict everybody, and we were able to go out there and collect more. And in the process of doing so, we were raided by Neanderthals. Now, Neanderthals on their own are generally not that scary. They do not carry any ranged weapons at all. They are melee swarmers. Their big claim to fame is that, number one, they are tougher to take down. They have more hit points, more endurance, and thick skin, which makes them shrug off things like arrows. And then, of course, they come in numbers. That one was a 30-person raid. If you look at our colony, we have 12. So nearly 3 to 1. Now, being that they are all melee, we were able to simply funnel them into the kill box, use stun grenades up here, and we were able to take them down slowly, but not without casualties. By the time they were done, they had taken down a half a dozen of our people. And so it was once again into the infirmary to try and heal people up with what little medicine we had left. We did manage to recover from that, mostly, when we got raided again, and this time we got raided by the pigmen, who were coming in power armor, and they were coming with grenades. They were sappers. They were going to come into the base whichever way they wanted to, and they were bringing everything from smoke grenades to antimatter grenades. And grenade launchers, which meant that they could do the same thing, or they could launch their grenades a long, long way. We tried to fight them. They completely stomped all over the colony without a single casualty, and wiped it out. So, that was an hour and a half of my time that I'll never get back. So let's fast forward to the last time I tried to record. Again, we started very similar to this. We had a party last time. We went out here, and we defeated the mech cluster. Good job for us. We did take some casualties. 4 people were injured, and, 4 people were downed and had to be brought in. They had to be carried in. 1 person ended up developing an infection, and 1 person lost a leg. Which, that was bad. However, losing a leg, we can deal with. What comes next, we cannot. And if I'm paying attention at all, this is roughly 7-ish minutes in, I should be putting something up on screen now. This is the raid that they decided to throw at us next. That Randy decided to throw at us next. This raid is 13 people. Now, 13 people means that already we are pretty much 1 for 1 to what my colony has. With the exception that I do have a couple of non-violence, and so, yeah, there's that. However, if you'll notice, every single one of them is wearing power armor. I don't even have flak vests for everybody. I barely have helmets for everybody. And what are they carrying? Well, let's just go from left to right. Molotov cocktails. Not that scary. Flash grenades. Non-damaging, however, if you can't fight back, you die. But then we get into some of the others. A handheld mortar. It's a handheld weapon that fires mortar shells. A doomsday rocket launcher. The next weapon, that is a handheld inferno cannon. Well, actually it's a handheld heavy flamer. But either way, it is going to just blanket an entire area in fire. Next in line from that is a smaller flamethrower. And now we got to deal with a prison break. We'll get to that. After that, however, is a handheld uranium slug cannon. It is normally mounted on a turret. And then the rest of them are made up with heavy machine guns. That is not something that is beatable. I don't care how you do it. The only possible way that we might be able to handle that is if we could funnel them into a close area where they couldn't use all those weapons, and then engage them in melee combat. However, they're wearing power armor, which means that melee combat, not gonna do anything, because we don't have knives or any kind of melee weapon capable of penetrating power armor. This is not a raid. Okay? In GM terms, when we're talking about a tabletop game, we have a term for this. It's called Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies. It goes back to an old meme, an old joke on the internet, where the DM is getting pissed off because the players keep doing, well, player things, let's be honest. And once the GM has had enough, it says, you know what? I'm done. Rocks fall, everyone dies. Because what that's saying is the game is over. Rocks falling from above means that, the damage is incoming, and the damage is going to be absolutely catastrophic. Since the rocks are falling on you, and this is generally done in something like a chasm, there's nowhere to run, no way to dodge, nothing to do to mitigate it. And so, if you can't avoid it, and you can't survive it, you just die. And you can go ahead and skip things like turns or saving throws or anything else like that. It's just rocks fall, everyone dies. Because the game is over. Because the GM has decided by fiat that the game is over. And we're no longer dealing with pleasantries. This is flipping the table, picking up your pieces, and going home. Which is exactly where this series sits right now. That squad right there that came in, that was flipping the table. There is nothing that this colony can do that could ever possibly hope to deal with that. The only colony that could would be an exceptionally militarized one. One that was nothing but geared up with heavy weapons and heavy armor. Anything short of that is going to be completely annihilated. Now, the people who defend RimWorld would say that this is a story beat. This is one of those times when you say, look, we can't actually defeat this, and so here's what we're going to do. We're going to gather up all of our pawns, and we're going to flee. We're going to leave this colony, move to a new tile, and set up a new colony. And that is true, technically speaking. That is an option. It is a viable option. At which point you are then starting from scratch, which means that in terms of playing the game, it's fine. If that's the way you want to go, you could just end the story right there, or you could go through everything and you could continue the story starting over. From my perspective, for this series, that's not an option. Because nobody wants to watch rebuilding the whole colony all over again. Which means that this is just going to end the series. Period. It's done. So here's what we're doing. I'm not restarting the series. Okay? I'm also not giving up. What we are doing is this. We have been running with Randy this entire time, and I do Randy usually for a reason. Randy takes every single event in the game, puts it on a great big board, and just picks one at random. Everything has an equal weight, and everything is chosen supposedly fairly. Now I say supposedly fairly because I don't actually believe that anymore. I believe that Randy was mean, indifferent, cruel, chaotic, but fair. I no longer believe that. I believe that Randy is just the bad things happen storyteller. And as such, I'm no longer willing to indulge it. So we have switched to Cassandra. Now Cassandra's thing is that Cassandra is going to hit you, and then Cassandra's going to let you rebuild before hitting you again. And every time Cassandra hits you, Cassandra's going to hit you harder. However, you will at least get a chance to build something in between. So that's how we're going to do this going forward. We will work with Cassandra, and we will hopefully be able to make this work. Now, without wasting any further time, let's get into the actual game right now, because we're in the middle of a prison break for some reason. Now, who is actually breaking out? You? Ein? Hit him. I am so tired of you. You have been nothing but a pain in my ass since you got here, and I am just so tired of dealing with you. And now, Ein is injured again. Not severely injured, I mean, he's bruised. But still, I have to go out and I have to crack a mechanoid cluster. I just got JP fully healed. Now, it is roughly 7 o'clock. People are going to be going to bed. I don't want to wait, but at the same time, I do not want to be fighting with troops that are tired. Because then their moods are going to drop. It's going to be harder for me to get literally anything done. We'll be dealing with mental breaks. The best thing to do is going to be wait till morning and hope that the weather is still clear when we do. That's the most I can think of. And I mean, if anybody here was turned off by the opening rant and discussion over game design, I'm sorry about that, but this is the thing that I do. And I take a lot of pride in what I do. And I take a lot of pride in doing it well. And this so far has not been well. I mean, I can't even call it decent. It has been absolutely ridiculous. So, we're going to let them sleep this off. We'll catch them in the morning. I mean, Ein, shouldn't you be sleeping? Whatever. If you want to haul that stuff in, that's fine. You can haul that stuff in. What do we have in terms of medicine so far? 86 of them. There's still 147 out there. Okay, what time is it? It is 3 a.m. So about 5 more hours. 4 hours? 5 hours? What is it? What is the normal wake-up time? Well, if this is bedtime, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Normal wake-up time should be about 6 a.m., give or take. I see that a lot of people are waking up. I suppose, actually, my real indicator is going to be Gabby. Since Gabby's a heavy sleeper, and I literally cannot wake up Gabby, we can't leave until Gabby wakes up. Actually, you don't even have a gun, do you? I'm always shocked by that. Come and get this revolver when you wake up. They cannot even offer you a queued option. There we go. Recoloring apparel. And you had to grab dye from there? Okay, well, either way, Gabby's awake. As soon as Gabby has a gun, we're gonna go. Before the weather can turn. The weird thing is, it's actually colder inside the base than it is outside, and I don't understand that. Okay. We're coming over here. I've done this before. It's worked out well most of the time. And you, I have to watch. Because you'll just stop. Okay. Iggy, you have my smoke grenades. I need you to start laying down smoke. Now, you can go to the back. Okay, that's looking good. Now, I have tried using the EMP grenades before. They've never really done me a lot of good. Actually, everybody, I'm going to turn Fire at Will on. And I'm going to move you back here. Okay, that got their attention. Wow, that's a lot of centipedes. Never mind, we're gonna need those EMP grenades. Okay, well, we're already facing overwhelming firepower. Let's see if we can draw some of them in here. Come on, fall back, fall back. Do we have anything that's gonna help us out here? I mean, come on. 2 centipedes. What about you? Do you have anything that's gonna help us here? Bramble maze, word of animals. No, nothing here is really gonna help us. I guess just take pot shots. They're heading straight for our base. I need you to keep throwing smoke. Alright, well, I mean, we're not even facing the, we're not even facing the centipedes anymore at this point. Oh, never mind. There's another centipede. Can you not reach that? Throw! Iggy! You should have come forward. Start throwing over there. Those centipedes are going to get to our base and they're going to just absolutely wreck things. Okay, let's get in here. Stay in the smoke. Destroy that. Take out that turret. Okay, now here's the tough part. We need to go and take out those centipedes. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure there's other things too. They're probably going to come here and destroy all this again. They're kind of taking the long way around. The time being, I'm going to let you go like this. What are my casualties so far? Medical treatment needed. Let's do it this way. Watts. You're gonna die in 12 hours. Go home. You're no longer useful in this fight. That's for everybody else. Ein, you're alright. Cork, you're fine. Watts, yeah. Why are we in combat again? Who's shooting? Not Bender. Where are those mechs? Oh! They broke through the door. There. They're going after my my little mechs. Wonderful. They're in the storeroom. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm turning off Search and Destroy. I want everyone to gather right here. Scream, where are you at? way behind. Okay, here's how this is gonna have to work. Here's how it's gonna have to work. Smoke grenades are not gonna help in here. I'm gonna send melee people in to keep these mechs occupied. I'm gonna down you as well. And then we'll use guns to take care of everything else. Okay. I'm going to send everyone in. You're going to go in. Beatrice. Melee attack that one. Iggy. Melee attack that one. Go. No, no, no. Stop him from firing. That Scyther's going after Iggy. Kill that Scyther. Okay, we've got the grenades in here. That'll help. You two, pull back. With the grenades in, we can keep them stunned, temporarily at least. Do as much damage as you can. Okay. Never mind. It's done. It's done. I think. Search and destroy isn't triggering. Okay. We're done. Mech cluster's defeated. Now, the question is everybody going to survive? Like, where's Watts? 9 hours left. You're gonna be okay. You're not gonna be great, but you're gonna be okay. We're going to allow everything, and set everyone back to default. So, no lost legs as far as I can tell. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 casualties out of 12 colonists. That's not great. Alright, I can let you up. We're going to let our doctors do their work while we take care of the cleanup. So, first things first, all the steel slag out here, don't even bother hauling it at this point. There's too much other things, too much to do. Other than that, everything else is going to be a haul urgently. And, oh no, there's no space left to haul things. Yeah, I realize that. We have a lot of rebuilding to do. We're going to try and make it work. It's the most I can think of to do. But we can clear this off. And with any luck... Beatrice, what are you doing? I guess you're not really in any danger. Medical emergency. Watts. Blood loss extreme. Let's get you a transfusion. I'm going to need to do a blood drive here pretty soon. Although, now is obviously not it. And an eclipse. That's not helpful. So much of our power is solar. And I can literally watch the batteries draining. Can we turn that off? That's a huge power drain. And all three of these are basically equal to one smelter. I don't know. We'll work with it. Let the constructoid keep working. Other than that, it's just a matter of make sure everyone, make sure that everyone survives this, and then pull in whatever we can. Watt's no longer incapable of walking. Gabby's no longer capable of walking. Quest expired. I don't care. I really don't care right now. Missing a well? Wait, where was the well? Oh, the well was up there. That's right. So, yeah, that's missing as well. That was not a pun. Mechanoid in need of repairs. How badly damaged are you? Gunshots from heavy blasters. Not good. You are set for auto repair, right? Yes, you are. Okay, how much wood do we have left? Almost 1,000. Good, because we're gonna need it for a lot of these shelves and stuff. Unfortunately, with the constructor being damaged, even if I get it repaired, they lose a lot of energy being repaired. And as such, it's going to be taken out of commission one way or another. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way that is. A Mechanator is really powerful, but also really fragile too sometimes. Speaking of which, I don't know why I have that listed here twice. Resurrect Light Mechanoid, Agrahand. Is it already working on Agrahand? Or is that what you're doing right now? No. I have no idea why it says that. Doesn't matter. You're awake anyway. Did you go take care of your mech? I'm going to assume that that's what you're doing right now. I'm going to make the assumption. Royal Tribute Collector. Okay, that's fine. You guys are welcome. There's still a lot of stuff out here. These components. Like, we didn't have any at the base. There's 53 of them out here in various locations. We need to bring all of these in. And I mean, like, all of them. Because we have none currently, as far as I know. The multi-analyzer down here is still waiting on gold. And I'm not going to get that from the Royal Tribute Collectors because they're collecting. I wonder if we have anything to give them, actually. Who right now is my best negotiator? No, actually, I don't really want the best negotiator. Who is the one that wanted to, that wanted a title? We have someone who's a title, don't we? No. Little commune, no. Space program. No, I actually don't have anybody who is currently holding a title. Who was it that wanted it then? JP. JP wanted to make an inspirational throne speech. Go talk to them. Go ahead and talk to them. See if we have anything, because we might have like some L-Tex or something we can give them. I'm not sure. And because of the eclipse, we are out of power. It's going to happen eventually. I mean, I suppose the benefit here is that the rooms that are already frozen, they're going to stay frozen since it's freezing outside. Heating is something we really need to work on. I just don't have the steel for it. I wonder if I could put together, like... We have radiators. We actually do have 2 L-Techs we could give them. Here, you can have this. There you go. We have radiators. These work off of hot water. Requires 100 heating units, and that's where the boilers come in. Now, mind you, produces variable amounts of heating units for radiators and hot water tanks. Manually controlled power settings can be controlled by thermostats. Never did quite figure out the thermostats. But that's fine. We don't have the steel for this yet. However, if we can get back to steel production... What happened here? I have no idea. Anyway, if we can get back to steel production, maybe we can look into that. Oh, that was Watt's gun. Looks like the eclipse is over. However, it's the middle of the night, so still no light. How are we doing on cleaning things up and hauling it in? Still have 143 haul urgentlies. All I want at this point is to just clean the map. Just bring everything in. It's the only thing that matters at this point. Oh, and you're working on the Agrihand. Cool. That's fantastic, actually. One thing that I do need to look at is, like, Gestate Militor. I got 5 of those queued up. We only have 1 subcore. We're going to need more of these. So I'll queue those up as well. Shuttle engine, shuttle engine. I can only assume we're going to need those later on. We do have components that are inside now. That's good, just in case anything breaks. Unfinished EMP grenade? We don't need this. We already have an EMP grenade. So we'll suspend that. Let's see. With the sun out, we're getting power again. I could turn the smelter back on. I'm not going to. The reason I'm not going to is because nobody has time to do smelting anyway right now. So, what would be the point? I also happen to notice there's a ton of, like, blood and stuff in here. Can you not keep up? Oh, Weirin is cooking! Why do I see food poisoning in our future? Okay, well, I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. Maybe, hopefully. Where do we stand on the haul urgentlies now? We're down to 85. That's progress. Okay, visitors are leaving. That's fine. They're allowed to leave. I still see components out here. But I guess that's okay too. Looks like you're finally catching up to the cleaning in this room, at least. That poor little Roomba. Why are you actually doing this? Like, why is it that Weirin is making fine meals and not doing crafting? Cooking did get turned up. I'm gonna turn this back down to the normal level and see if that changes anything. Change something. Making a control pack. I guess we do have more, we have more steel than I thought we did. However, we still have a lot of building to do. Beatrice, where are you? You're sleeping. Okay, that's fair. I need you to start doing construction. You are set to Hull Plus. I'm turning you off from Hull Plus, okay? You don't need to be hauling so much as you need to be doing. Also, reading Intro to Baking? Do you even like cooking? Let's see, construction. Actually, you have a natural affinity for cooking. So, yeah. I mean, go you. And then straight back to bed. You're not even tired. Some sleep schedules are just so screwed up. What the hell? Not only did you drop this thing, but you dropped it right next to us. You need to just go straight to hell, and a sunblocker. So there goes all of our power. Well, I guess we'll see if we can take this thing down now. Now, it's got some kind of shield around it. Can I find out what it is? Just various items. Here it is. It's a mech high shield, so nothing on the ground that's going to bother us. Everybody gather in here. I sent it to Cassandra to avoid this thing and think maybe we could get this stuff done, but I guess not. So, we'll do what we can and see if maybe we can defeat this. This thing is enormous. At least it doesn't seem to have a ton of turrets over here. However, that's a Scorcher. That's a Tesseron. Tesserons I hate. Like, more than anything else, I hate Tesserons. But I have a plan. It's not a very good plan, but I have a plan. Iggy. I'm going to put you right here. You should not trigger anything right there. How far in can you throw this? Now, as a smoke grenade, it shouldn't wake them up. Never mind. JP's on fire. Okay, JP... Okay, JP's now out. I heard machine gun fire. Okay, Iggy. We're gonna need a smoke screen up here. Oh, lovely! They went straight for my base again. They're destroying everything all over again. Wonderful. Every goddamn time. Never fails. Well, I wonder if we can go stop it. Oh, also the base is on fire now, so there's that too. There is just no way to win. Every single time. Scream! I need you to switch to your EMP grenades. Come over here. Start bombing. Everybody else, move down. Oh, I'm EMPing Bender. And Bender doesn't function that way. Oh, look at that. The base is on fire up there, too. And they're inside the common room. Wonderful! We're gonna lose the entire base. Alright. Priorities. The mech cluster's not going anywhere. And JP, you're dead in 18 hours. They have destroyed the comms console. They've destroyed everything. They have destroyed just everything. Can we not get a goddamn minute apiece? One. I'm curious, actually. I'm curious. How many are left? 60. There are still 60 things left for us to pick up on the map. We have not been able to clean up the map. We cannot clean up the map because we cannot get enough time to clean up the map. Well, there goes the die station, too. We've lost our card table. We lost the pool table. JP, you're released. Go to the infirmary. Unfortunately, Iggy, you're still with us. First, we got to deal with these fires. We have so many injuries again, which means that everyone's going to be laid up in the hospital again. Nobody's going to be cleaning. Nobody's going to be building. Nobody will get anything accomplished. All right, everyone come down here. Destroy this sun blocker. Gabby, get down here. Iggy, come over here. We're gonna need smoke. Right there should be good, actually. We'll throw a couple of grenades, and that should be enough to move everyone in. That should be it. And then Iggy will continue to smoke them. Now, just in case, be ready to run back in. Keep firing. All right, everyone is released again. And now we have even more work to do. I don't know how we are supposed to actually do anything if we're going to be just under constant, repeated attacks. Because we had 53 to put away. Now, we're back up to 193. So, any and all progress that we made, completely gone. Absolutely gone. I'll speed things up for what little good it's going to do us. This is an absolute disaster. This is, like I said, this is Rock's Fall. Everyone dies, and I don't know why. I don't. This is getting to the point where there is no win condition. This isn't survival. This is just endurance. This is, hey, look at that. We beat the mech cluster. Now, we'll get maybe 5 minutes or so, and then it's going to drop another mech cluster on us. Or another extermination raid. I don't know. It'll be one or the other at this point. A J meteorite. Did it land on somebody? No, it landed on something. Took out a corner of the building over there. There's an entire map! You had to drop the meteorite on my base. Tell me it's not intentional. I don't care if Jones is in a daze. I don't care if Jones dies. I mean, I've got Iggy over here trying to convert people. It's not working. Now, there's a thing that we could do in 2 days. We have a conversion ritual. The last time we tried that with Jones, it didn't work. And now we have infections. Wonderful. Administer antibiotics. And of course, being Iggy, it's my best doctor. Castenda's having a tantrum. From poor mood. Can't imagine why moods would be poor right now. You know, I wouldn't break anything in your room because we have an entire base that we need to fix. And I gotta say, your room is gonna be really, really low on the priorities. Speaking of building, Beatrice, what are you doing? Hauling wood to big shelves. Honestly, I'm not sure if those are the shelves that we need to be building. I mean, it's all got to get rebuilt eventually, but the stuff out front may be a bit more important. But hey, what do I know? Donkeys. Donkeys have joined us. If somebody wants to go bring those in, then sure, we can have donkeys, I guess. I'll deal with them later. Iggy, you don't seem to be doing very well. Looking at the numbers... you are actually rising. Okay, you are actually rising. Just in case, though... I'm turning off all of my worst doctors. Weirin, it's gonna fall to you. How much wood do we have left? We had about 1,000. We're down to about 360. So, we'll follow you as you rebuild this stuff. However, we're going to have to go harvest trees. Suppose I should take care of that right now. Chop all wood in home area. That's 34 trees worth. It may not get us all the way, but it'll help. Let's see, there's a beacon. Oh, you're going to take steel. That's it. Like, we kind of need to get that well going, actually. I don't know if you can do that or not. Building a water well. Good. That was one of the things that we needed. Bender has an inspired surgery. I'm not letting Bender do surgery. Bender's good enough at doing surgery on robots, but otherwise, no, I'm not letting Bender do surgery. This thing takes more work than I thought it did. But it's done now. So we should be able to get water again. And that's bedtime for you. So go to hell. Go straight to hell. A mech cluster with an EMI dynamo. So, a mech cluster has again turned all of my electricity off. And it's not even here. Show me where it is. That is a long-ass way. Well, don't have anything else to do. We're not going to accomplish anything. So, Alden, Watts, Ein, not Iggy because you have an infection. JP, you're going. Choose a route. That way. Send. Don't have any food? Probably not. But what else am I supposed to do? That is, let's count it. 3 mech clusters. Okay? And I realize that this is, I'm getting to the end of my time here, so that's going to be 3 clusters in an hour. But let's just go to the messages here. Let's see. This is Jugis the 7th, mech cluster with an EMI dynamo. On Jugis the 5th, that was a mechanoid cluster. That was the one that we just took care of right next to our base. And on Jugis the 2nd was the mech cluster up there. 5 days, right? Yeah, 5 days, 3 mech clusters. Something here is broken. And I don't know what it is, but now I'm going to have to fix it. Because this is untenable. This is impossible. We cannot do anything so long as we are under constant assault by every goddamn motherfucking thing on the planet. Something here has to give. Now we have this. That's it. There is nothing else I can do. There's nothing else I can do. I'm going to have to go into the dev mode and I'm going to have to just start deleting things. Because this is impossible. Okay? It is impossible and I'm done pretending. If the game wants to cheat, I'm going to start cheating back. That psychic emitter is going away. Period. So, with that being said, I'm going to go start cheating now. And when I get back, I guess we'll deal with that other mech cluster. And we'll go from there. So, until then, I don't know. Screw everything else. I'm not even doing my usual outro. I quit. Take care.